Hello viewers, it is your favorite spoiler from the recap room. For more updates, stay tuned and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you. In Emergence, the 7th episode of Alien Earth, Wendy and Joe's relationship is put to the test following Nibs' passing. In addition, a number of characters die in this episode after Tootle or Isaac are destroyed in Alien Earth Episode 6. In typical Alien franchise fashion, Arthur briefly regains consciousness before a baby Xenomorph emerges from his chest. Wendy is able to command the abducted Xenomorph to carry out her wishes, which include unleashing complete havoc on her enemies, after she has figured out how to communicate with the alien. Brings Arthur's hollow body to Morrow, who is escorted by Weyland-Yutani soldiers, with Smee's assistance. After capturing the rogue Xenomorph that blasted from Arthur's chest, Kirsh ultimately defeats Morrow. Because pi is a universal number that all advanced lifeforms would recognize and understand, the eyeball alien, who may be the most intelligent of them all, actually communicates with Boy Kavalier by reciting several of its digits. Boy Kavalier gets the sinister idea of taking the alien from the sheep and putting it in a human, claiming he knows just the right person for the job. In the penultimate episode of Alien Earth, a furious Wendy yells at Joe for killing Nibs. Since Wendy views the other hybrids as her brothers and sisters, she made it plain to Joe earlier in the episode that she would not leave Neverland without them. In the Season 1 conclusion of Alien Earth, Wendy is unlikely to betray Joe. Nonetheless, the most significant question remains: what are her true allegiances? Unquestionably, Wendy's strongest ally is the Xenomorph, who submits to her like a mother. As a result, Wendy has complete control over the island, which will almost certainly have an impact on Boy Kavalier, who refuses to accept responsibility. In the last episode, Kirsh had been watching slightly from a distance as Boy Kavalier reached an agreement with Yutani. Kirsh saw Slightly lock Arthur in the safe lab so a facehugger might target him. He also knew full well that Slightly had been using a bug on Morrow's neck to communicate with him. Apart from defending Boy Kavalier's interests, Kirsh is engaged in his own conflict. In addition to his personal tricks and tactics, Kirsh harbors animosity for humanity as a species. In order to guide Morrow and his Weyland-Yutani men straight into a trap, he assisted Slightly and Smee in smuggling Arthur and the facehugger to the beach. Since Kirsh's loyalty to Prodigy is at most tenuous, it is unclear what his true objectives are. He does appear worried about the hybrids, and it's possible that he has intentions for them that are unrelated to Boy Kavalier's. Boy Kavalier will view Kirsh as a hero now that Morrow has been captured, which may present the ideal scenario for him to attack his master. After learning that Dame Sylvia and Prodigy had wiped some of Nibs' memories in order to help her become more behaviorally stable, Wendy had lost faith in them. Wendy assumed the duty of protecting Nibs and the other herbids, even though Dame was merely carrying out orders from Boy Kavalier's right-hand man, Adam Ennis. On Neverland Island, Wendy, Nibs, and Joe discover a tiny cemetery in the woods outside the main buildings. The human children who were placed in the hybrid bodies are buried in each grave. Even though Wendy is standing directly behind him, it is becoming increasingly clear to Joe that he has lost his sister, which is why he is grieving over Marcy's grave and Nibs recognizes her monument. Wendy maintains that their former human identities are still present in their new hybrid bodies, but after witnessing her own death, Nibs no longer thinks she is fully herself. This scene serves as a turning point in the narrative that sets Wendy apart from Marcy. Despite their growing similarities, the two are not the same. Thanks for watching, stay tuned for more updates.